Have you ever felt like booking a flight is a total gamble? Because on one hand, the world feels more connected than ever, right? But on the other, the whole system just seems like it's teetering on the edge of chaos. Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into here. All the contradictions of modern air travel, to try and figure out what is really going on. So this is the big question, isn't it? Are we living in some kind of golden age of flying, with more places to go than ever before? Or is the whole thing just buckling under its own weight? Let's find out. The story of aviation right now is really a tale of two extremes. It's like this massive game of tug of war. On one side, you've got this incredible boom. We're talking record-breaking flights, a huge explosion of new routes, massive growth. But at the exact same time, you've got the bust. Constant disruptions, demand that's getting a little shaky in key markets, and governments stepping in with some serious regulatory pressure. So let's unpack the boom side of things first. Okay, so starting with the good news, we are absolutely witnessing a kind of golden age of new connections. Airlines are literally redrawing the map of the world, linking up cities and entire continents in ways we've never seen before. 29 hours. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the new record for the world's longest one-stop flight from China Eastern. And look, this isn't just a long flight. It's a journey of nearly 20,000 kilometers that stitches together Asia, Oceania, and South America. It's a powerful symbol of just how far aviation has come. And this kind of growth isn't just a one-off thing. Just look at the Middle East. An 8.5% jump in seat capacity in a single month. That is a massive bet on the future. It really solidifies the region's ambition to become the world's central hub for air travel. And if you want to talk about ambition, look at this number. Hong Kong isn't just trying to get back to where it was before the pandemic. No, it's aiming for 120% of its 2019 capacity. That is a crystal clear signal that it plans on reclaiming its title as a top-tier global gateway. So what does all this growth actually mean for travelers? Well, it means some really exciting new possibilities. You're seeing these brand new nonstop routes pop up that are driven by specific needs, like the Phoenix to Taipei connection, which is all about the semiconductor industry. But you're also seeing the return of classic vacation routes and new links that are forging stronger connections within regions. The world is definitely shrinking, but all this rapid expansion, it's creating some serious growing pains. Right. So while the airlines are soaring high, the experience back on the ground, that's a whole different story. We're seeing some major turbulence, in the form of operational breakdowns and logistical nightmares. These are the growing pains of a system that's being stretched right to its absolute limit. And this isn't just about a few unhappy passengers anymore. We're talking about governments that are starting to lose their patience. In the US, the FAA is now threatening airlines with some pretty hefty fines for every single flight they can't manage properly at key airports. That's a huge sign that the era of airlines just regulating themselves might be coming to an end. And make no mistake, this is a global issue. In North America, it's the regulators turning up the heat. Over in Europe, there's a real worry about weakening demand for those key transatlantic flights. In Asia, it's the operational failures, like lost luggage, that are making passengers furious. And in some places, like Venezuela, route suspensions are causing genuine human hardship, stranding families. And to really put a human face on all this data, just look at what happened in India. One airline, Indigo, faced this absolute firestorm of public anger after massive luggage problems and flight disruptions left thousands of people completely in limbo. This is where the industry's big ambitions crash right into a very, very frustrating reality for regular travelers. So with this constant push and pull, how is the industry actually responding? Well, they are adapting. They're trying to navigate these challenges with both some high-tech solutions and some pretty smart strategic pivots. One of the biggest changes is happening right where you'd expect it, the security line. The TSA is basically betting big on biometrics to solve the bottleneck problem. The idea is really simple. Instead of fumbling for your ID, a quick face scan does the job, which should get more people through the line way faster. It's a high-tech solution for a very human problem, waiting in line. But it's not all about technology. Airlines are also making some really clever strategic moves. As some of the more traditional markets start to cool down, you see low-cost carriers chasing the sun. They're redirecting their planes to meet the booming demand for vacations in Latin America and the Caribbean. It's a simple strategy, really. Go where the passengers want to go. You know, the situation in emerging markets really captures this whole industry's contradictions perfectly. In Africa, the long-term forecast is for absolutely explosive growth, but the short-term reality, it can be brutal. You have operational issues like grounded planes threatening to wipe out a quarter of an airline's earnings. It is a classic high-risk, high-reward environment. So, after looking at the boom, the bust, and how everyone's trying to adapt, what's the big picture here? What are the key things that are really going to shape the future of flying for all of us? Looking ahead, it really seems to boil down to three big themes. First, we're going to keep seeing this big shift in capacity toward those high-demand vacation and trade routes. Second, resilience is the new name of the game. Being able to handle infrastructure problems and new regulations is going to be what separates the winners from the losers. And third, the industry's center of gravity is just going to keep shifting towards those booming markets in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And that brings us right back to where we started, with this one fundamental question. The ambition of the aviation industry seems limitless. They're always reaching for the sky. But its foundation, the experience on the ground, feels, well, increasingly fragile. Can the ground experience ever hope to match the dream of flight? The answer to that is going to shape the future of how we all see the world. Thanks so much for joining us.